Lord have mercy. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Wiley Show. I'm super excited to be back. We were supposed to do a morning show, but I had to go to sleep because I was tired. I was sleepy. I was really, really sleepy, so I couldn't do the morning show. But we are here right now doing this show. We want to wish y'all well. I want to do a quick little recap of Chasing Atlanta previous episodes that they did. I'm going to do this recap, and then also we're going to be talking about Sunny from The View, and we also going to be talking about giving you the update about Kevin Samuels. So we definitely going to be doing that. So let me first start off with Chasing Atlanta. Y'all know what Chasing Atlanta is. It's a show that airs on Chasing Reality every, I think, Thursday or Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. And they do this show, and it's a lot of cast members on the show. So last episode opens up with Oliver and his mother on the show, and she was talking about having a conversation. You know, she had got the Rona shot, and she had got really, really, really sick, and that she had lupus, and that that you know, back in the day, her Oliver's dad got into an altercation with her and hit her with a car. I think ran over her with a car. And so because he was on drugs and he did not want her to be without him, and he said, if I can't have you, nobody can. So they shared that on the show, and I'm like, oh my God, you really sharing an in-depth situation about Oliver and his mother and about the father. I'm like, wow, they really shared that on the show. I really was tearing up because being in a watching that in someone in a domestic violence relationship, that is very, very sad. I know people that was in a domestic violence relationship. It's not cool. It's sad, and it's just really, really something. But she don't look like she came from that. His mom looks really good, and it's good that Oliver have a good relationship with his mother, and that they are able to share things on the show. That's wonderful. And then also, she's a part of the community because she is a lesbian. So she a part of the community. His mother is a part of the community as well. So I think that's legendary. Then it gets to Rico Cassadine was in the studio with Wayne the Pain, and Wayne the Pain was talking about how he's in a relationship and how he want um to be an artist. And I'm like this, Wayne the Pain. I don't have nothing against you trying to be an artist. But if you want to manage Kendra career, you must focus on Kendra career. Let me break this down to you. Going and trying to be an artist, and then you're trying to be a manager, something is going to get neglected, and you're going to neglect your artist. And this is why Kendra don't get a lot of streams. This is why she's not really well known on social media. That's why her Instagram account is really, really low, is because her manager, he want to be a superstar. Her manager want to be an artist. And I'm like, how you want to be these things when you supposed to be representing your client? And that's something that people need to understand. Why would you have a manager that want to be an artist? Because they are going to focus on their career first, and then whatever scraps they have left, they're going to focus on you. So I personally think that Kendra should fire Wayne and get a new manager, someone that's going to invest in you, someone that's going to make sure that you sound good, somebody to make sure that you're not doing songs that came up to the top. I'm talking about listen. There's no way in the world I'm gonna have somebody managing me and they trying to be an artist. Like, come on, how can you be able to focus on my career when you in the studio dropping your tracks? That's what I want to say. So if Kendra, if you're around here and you listening to me, you need to fire Wayne the Pain, and that's just my honest opinion. Then it gets to Drew Friday was doing a dance, and of course the editing, they edited like the crowd was like really into it. So you could tell it was heavily edited. And I like that I got up there. He was singing some songs. I think he sung Trey songs and all of that. And Drew Friday was just doing her dance and getting ready to do this pageant. So she's trying to raise some money. Like, oh, this is cute. Wasn't many people in the building though. Um, Aaron, um, all just it's just all this stuff, you know. And then Aaron, he's a singer. He told her, Drew Friday, it seemed I thought you was extra. And we did get to know why Drew Friday was extra. Let's go ahead on. Then it gets to Aaron and Jay Moore. Aaron wanted to do an event with Jay Moore, and then Aaron was talking about how he was homeless. Now, mind you, Aaron is the one that was on Sunday's Best. He was on American Idol. He's on the show. He got blonde hair. I'm not really feeling his personality, and I like Aaron, but I'm not feeling his personality on the show. He's not really giving me what I want, and that particular scene was kind of boring because I think he's trying to be so uptight about his career. He need to loosen up some, maybe need to drink some alcohol to loosen up some. I'm not really feeling that at all. I'm not. He need to loosen up some because he's a little bit uptight. But he was talking about how he was homeless. And then Jay, the fashion icon or the fashion guru, said he was in an abusive relationship and that he was homeless for about 2 months living in his car. And it looked like Jay was kind of bored with Aaron. I don't know if y'all noticed that. That's what it kind of looked like. Then we get to Rico Castanine um, at his listening party. It was. I'm going to tell you this. Rico Castanine can rap. All right, he's an amazing rapper. He is extremely talented. He wrote a record honoring his grandmother because his grandmother passed away, and it was so emotional. But Rico does. He just really does a lot. And then towards like the last scene, the one that I was watching, um, Drew Friday and Rico Castanine confront each other talking about Dominique. And he said, I didn't say that about Dominique and stuff like that. So they had their little altercation. And I'm like, one thing about Rico Castanine, he know how to read. So I'm loving him on the show. I just hope that his career, okay, I just hope that it's his career outweigh his reading and dragging folks because he can drag. I hope that people invest in his career because sometimes you don't want to be acting ignorant and then people are not buying your streams in your album. Even though me personally, I don't think he should release an album yet. I think he should release singles and just get people hyped up about his singles because like when we was playing one of the songs that he did with Ike, give me a second. What was the name of that record? Because we're gonna get into other topics. Because I was listening to it last night. It's called Me featuring Array. I think I think that's how you say his name, and it's absolutely good. So shout out to Chase in Atlanta. Love y'all. Thank y'all so very much. And that's my review for the episode. All right, so we're gonna go into our other topics here. Um, thank everybody for tuning in. Give me a second here because I definitely want to talk about this lady because she is on my mind to talk about. So give me a second. I really want to talk about I gotta talk about Candace Owens. Y'all kept sending me this in my DM. So I said, hey, we definitely gonna talk about it because Candace Owens is doing a documentary on the Black Lives Matter, and she's doing a documentary about how they misappropriated funds and how that stuff is going on. So I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. I don't know what's Candace Owens. Okay, here we go. Do I have it? Okay, here we go. Let me screen share real quick. Let me screen share so y'all can see this. Give me a second. I want to screen share this right quick. All right. Here we go.
I am watching Patrice Colors do a live claiming that I went to her property and demanded to speak to her. And I only way I can describe it is she sounds like she's really scared. We're working on a documentary talking about all the funding pertaining to Black Lives Matter. Obviously, we know that Patrice and a lot of the founders purchased $1 million homes in white neighborhoods. They also purchased a Black Lives Matter property. So we went to the property and asked if there was anyone that we could speak to, very politely, by the way. we've got cameras in tow, so there's no way she can. It's all on camera. And we just said, is there anyone we can speak to? Nobody asked us to leave. The person went inside. It was just a white man that we saw outside that was providing security, which is super interesting because obviously Patrice here is anti-police, and so she's, oh my god, I think she's crying on this live, pretending that she was harassed. We, like I said very politely to the guy, is there anyone we can speak to? My name's Candace Owens. We never went over the gate. It was just me ringing the doorbell, trying to speak to someone. He said absolutely nothing. He started just recording us. And we said, okay, if there's no one we can speak to, we're going to leave. Patrice is pretending to be scared because she knows that this Black Lives Matter lie is falling apart. And she doesn't know what to do. I mean, people are aware of the scam that is Black Lives Matter. She's intentionally limited the comments, so you can't even comment on this post, because I was going to comment and be like, this is a complete lie and we have it all on camera in terms of what happened. So what you are seeing right now is the face of a woman who is pretending she's afraid of right-wing pundits, when in reality she's being exposed as a fraud who took millions, used the faces of Black people, took millions of dollars to fund herself, to fund her lifestyle, to fund her girlfriend, and to buy $1 million mansions in neighborhoods where no Black people live. So Patrice, this footage that this story that we're covering is a significant one. I have always been interested in the fraud that is Black Lives Matter, your fake tears, your crocodile tears about someone politely ringing your gate and speaking to your white security guard and asking if there was anyone that I could talk to because I was covering the story. Not really going to cut it, Patrice. This is only going to commit me further to discovering the truth about what you have done with this funding. Black people died. You used their faces to raise money. You demanded that the policing be stopped. You demanded that police officers be defunded, but you've got a private security detail outside of $1 million homes. It just doesn't work this way, sweetheart. So the truth shall set you free, or Candace Owens shall set you free, girl, because I'm about to tell the truth. All right, we're still filming. Bye.
All right, so y'all clearly heard that, and I want to say this, and I say this humbly. You know what I'm saying? That Black Lives Matter, the organization, have to do a better job telling us how they're spending money. I've talked to people that used to work with Black Lives Matter. They say it's a disaster. So they have to do a better job how they spending their money. They're already getting sued, I think, in Indiana for misappropriation of funds, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that won't be the only state that sue them. But let me tell you this: when people give money to these organizations, they expect them to invest back into the community. It was parents, even the people back in Ferguson, that were saying that they wasn't getting money from Black Lives Matter. Now, this is something that we have to understand. Like, if you have funds and you are donating to Black Lives Matter, they should be given to the families when it comes to that. They should be given to the families when it comes to their children and when funerals or memorials or part of their organization when you are getting money, millions of dollars. So it should go towards a person that lost a loved one. Send them a couple of $1,000s. Send this family a couple of $1,000s. But investing in properties and multi-million-dollar homes, it just does not look right. It does not look right when you are when you are trying to be in this organization and you are buying these multi-million-dollar homes. It just doesn't look right. We can go all the way back when Dr. King came to Chicago. Back in the 60s, they was trying to do something for fair housing in Chicago. He came, and when he got an apartment, he didn't live in a nice neighborhood. He lived right in the slums with the people, because it wouldn't look right him living in a nice suburban area with security, and when he's trying to be for the people and trying to help the regular folks, it will look, the optics will just look bad. So for Black Lives Matter, I feel as though the organization, the leaders, they're buying these multi-million-dollar homes. This is not looking right. It's not looking right because they may be doing some good, but buying those multi-million-dollar homes is making people look like, well, y'all are wasting our money, and it also make it look right to the other people that's pro-police will use this to say, listen, how they misappropriating these funds. Now, mind you, none of them has been arrested for a crime. So, like I said, one particular state is investigating Black Lives Matter because of misappropriation of funds, and we will definitely keep you updated about that. But Candace Owens, she have a right to come out and do she have a right to come out and do something for her show. So if she want to do a show about Black Lives Matter, a documentary, she have a right to do so. I'm looking forward to seeing that show. I'm looking forward to watching it. So whenever she come out with that show, Black Lives Matter documentary, I'm going to be the first one watching it, and then we're going to definitely do a review. We will open up the phone lines, and I would like to hear y'all thoughts on it as well. So we definitely will open up the phone lines and let you all call in. Okay, all righty. All right, here we go. Now, I brought this lady up, and I've never talked about Miss Sunny Hostin from The View. Never talked about her. I think that she is an amazing contributor. She's a former federal prosecutor. But let me say this. I am so tired of Democrats getting mad at Black Republicans. Like Sonny said that Black Republicans are oxymorons, right? Which is very disrespectful. You're pretty much saying that Black Republicans don't have any sense, that they're wrong for being a part of the Republican Party. Maybe those Black Republicans that are part of the Republican Party probably got money, because you already know that they're pro business and pro wealthy people. We don't know all the details of why they're that way, but I don't think that we should look down on a person because of their political views, because the Democrats haven't done ish for Black people. I'm talking about lately. When Biden, when he was running across this country asking us for our vote, he said he's going to cancel student loan debt. That haven't happened. We was going to get a George Floyd Police and Accountability Act. That haven't happened. It's supposed to be helping to increase Black home ownership. That haven't happened. It was supposed to help increase Black entrepreneurship, to invest in Black small business. That haven't happened. Black owned media have not gotten a big piece of the pie. They're still struggling to get fair access to the advertising dollars. So when we look at this, we can't be mad at Black Republicans, because what are the Democrats doing for Black people? They're absolutely doing nothing for Black people. We are still suffering. People are still affected by the inflation. People are still affected by high gas prices. None of this was going on under President Donald Trump. Let's be clear. We wasn't dealing with high gas prices. We wasn't dealing with inflation. We wasn't dealing with expensive food. We wasn't dealing with any of that when Trump was in office. Now, I'm not the big Trump supporter here, but I'm just using some common 2 + 2 = 4. We wasn't going through any of those things. And under Biden, this country have gone down the tomb, in my humble opinion. Now, Sonny, like, you are very educated, but we shouldn't be mad at a Black Republican. So let me be clear. It's a lot more people are going to join the Republican Party because they feel like the Democrats for decades haven't done anything for us. Look at Chicago. Chicago has been run by Democrats for generations. And Chicago is one of the most dangerous cities in the world. When the summertime comes, they have hundreds and hundreds of young people are getting killed, up to the thousands. So this is something that we want to be here and be humble about when it comes to that. Give me a quick second. Hello? Hello, who's this? Sorry. I was like, they give me some tea. I'm like, okay. But yeah, the Democrats haven't done anything for us at all. They haven't done anything for us. They haven't helped us. And so, Sonny, you can't be mad at Black Republicans. And let's be clear, you probably yourself is a Black Republican. You probably just putting it out there trying to talk down on them, and you probably yourself probably vote Republican. So I'm just gonna say that humbly now. I'm not with Sonny Hudson on that. I don't believe that we should be doing that, degrading people that are Black that are Republicans. I don't think that we should be doing that at all. And I say it in my most humble opinion, we shouldn't be doing it at all. So we're gonna go to the next topic, and we definitely will have y'all to call in and give y'all thoughts and see what y'all have to say about all of this. Okay, now let's y'all already know that Kevin Samuels have passed. He have died. His mother have confirmed that he have died, according to NBC News. that he have died, and it was some police reports going around that it was a man in his 50s was having that collapse, that he was non-responsive, and now we can confirm to you that Kevin Samuels is dead. But now rumors are circulating about how did he die, what happened. Many people say he died. Rumors were saying he died on top of a woman that wasn't black. Now, this sister that you see right here, uh, they saying she's a nurse. Some saying that she's a model, and that it was a non-black woman that he died with. Um, and they were saying all this type of stuff. Black women were saying how this man he died alone, and look at him. This is why he didn't like black women, because look at the women had to call 911 to help him and all of this. And then also they're saying that he drunk a lot of Red Bulls and he mixed the Red Bulls with the liquor, and that's the reason why he went. Now, these are all rumors, all right? We don't know if any of that is the truth. Let me tell you why. Because they have not released an autopsy report about what is the cause of his death. What we are hearing is we're hearing rumors. So we don't have a tangible autopsy report. We won't get a autopsy report until whenever they get it done, if we even see it publicly. I guess it's up to the family to release it to make it public. So we don't know how he could have died. And I'm just being 100% honest with you. We definitely don't know that at all. But people are just assuming that he died because of some Red Bull or some liquor. We don't know what problems. We had heard that he had cancer in his early 20s and that he beat it. That was a rumor, but we definitely don't know that why he passed away. We do not know that. And I'm just being 100% honest. We just do not know why did he die. Like, we don't know the details until we actually get we get a report of his cause of death, and then we will know it. So, and then we hearing that they said he was doing the candy sugar, the booger sugar, that he was on cocaine. We do not know that until we get a report, until we get a toxicology, I can't even say it, ology report. And so we definitely break y'all news about that, but we definitely do not know how he passed. We do not know. We definitely being humble. We just do not know that at all. All right. So we definitely gonna keep y'all updated about that. My last subject here that I'm going to talk about, because I didn't want this to be like a long, lengthy video. We got to talk about Black T Blog was calling out the Ahmaud Wiggins show. And I don't know if I still have that tweet or what she said, but pretty much what Black T Blog said was that Ahmaud Wiggins is a felon. And that they were going back and forth, and Ahmaud went and just dragged Black T Blog and said, "Oh, all you do is talk about Nikki and all of this, so I could be able to talk about whoever I want to talk about." Then of course he had called her ugly, called out her name, and said all types of stuff. So it was really going back and forth. And I went to Ebony myself. That's the woman that's behind the Black T Blog empire. Went over there and I said to her that you are a beautiful Black woman. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You are beautiful. Who cares that you talk about Nicki Minaj, you talk about Cardi B, you're a fan. Have she always been a fan of Nicki? No. I think that she have not been a fan of her husband, just like many other barbs. But I guess she did her research and now she's a fan of Nicki Minaj, and that's okay. That's fine. I don't have a problem with people defending who they like. It's no problem. But I don't think that we should degrade her and talk about her looks, because it was wrong for Cardi B to even put out her pictures, because Cardi B put her pictures out there. Cardi B posted a police report. Cardi B also said she was a danger to her children. She put all of this information out there to her followers. And that's how I got to know who was my radio. That's how I got to know who she was, because I was watching her show. And I'm sorry, Black T Blogs. I was watching Black T Blogs because of the Twitter rant that Cardi B went on. So I just want to say it again. You are beautiful, you are important, you are awesome. And Armand have to understand, the higher he go up, people are going to remind him and sell him all the negative things he said about Black women. Now, he do have some Black women that follow him, but he had lost a lot of support from Black women. They have went on to Storm Monroe channel. I know he have lost a lot of Black women that was his moderators. Another gentleman that was supposed to do the female female rap podcast with him, left him because of how he was degrading black women and how he was degrading Nicki Minaj. And so they come on the Wiley Show and they call in. And so I was just giving my thoughts about all of this. But when it comes to Nicki Minaj and when it comes to her, she is an amazing rapper. And I think that we should respect her and we should not body shame her at all because she is a beautiful black rapper. Now, what I'm going to do is I want y'all to call in because apparently some people wanted to was mad at me because y'all was dragging Kevin Samuels. And I was telling the brothers, I said, listen, they should be able to say whatever they want to say about, Kevin Samuels. Just because he died, I don't think people are going to sing his praises. People are going to call out his frauds. And it is what it is. I think people think just because you die, you're supposed to automatically speak good about the dead when you did wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case. If you did some wrong stuff or you did some things that people disagree with, they are not about to they're not about they're not about to give me a second, I'm doing that. They're not about to speak good about you and your death. And that's just the honest opinion. So give me a second while I boot up the phone lines. All right. And we would get y'all thoughts. If y'all got something to say, we will open up the phone lines and let y'all say it. Give me a second here. Okay, moderators, can you post the number? Let me post it. Okay, we about to go.
Your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press.
Your show is scheduled to start in 35 seconds.
All right, so we got the phone lines open up 646-716-8447. 646-716-8447. And you all could definitely give y'all thought across. If y'all want to call in and give y'all thought across, that is the number 646-716-8447.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, so the number is 646-716-8447. And I was looking at the black women that was coming to him, and a lot of black women that were mad at him because he said they was number ones. They wasn't looking too good. So a lot of the black women that were coming at him were single and bitter because he was telling them that it's your fault why you have all these children, and that's why you can't get a husband. So a lot of those women that way, especially a lot of those leftover women that was 35 and up, single, was mad at Kevin Samuels. But the women, the more classier women, the women that wasn't that don't have a lot of kids, that's not too dark skinned, that are young and that got high value man, really uplift Kevin Samuels. But the more darker skinned women, the one that's kind of overweight, the ones that got kids by different baby daddies that really can't settle down, they're angry at Kevin Samuels. So I can get it. I can understand it. 2494, caller, you on the air.
Hi, Wiley. First on the Kevin Samuels thing, I condolences to his family or whatever, but he degraded black women, and I don't understand how women, any black woman, could support someone that degraded black women the way he did. And it also seems like he took pleasure in doing it. That's what really made it terrible for me, that he looked like he took pleasure in doing it. And I agree with you. It seemed to me as if that women that felt like that they were high value women, they didn't have a problem with him. But you know what? I'm the type of person, what you can be saying, it don't have to affect me. I think about black women as a whole. If you do something or say something that's degrading to one black woman, then that affects me too. And I have a problem with it too. But as black people, a lot of times we're not like that. That's one of the reasons why we have this colorism, thing that goes on within our race of people, is because that I think so many black people are have a slave mentality. and it's deeply embedded in them, white supremacy. So a lot of people that are lighter skinned people, and this is speaking as a light skinned person, I have a problem with black people when they start calling themselves brown. My hue is of a lighter hue, and I would never consider myself as brown. I consider myself as black because that's what we are, black. Black people come in all shades. So all this brown stuff, I'm brown. Hispanic people are brown people. We're all black people. It didn't matter if you light skin, dark skin, mixed or whatever, biracial, you're black. Because in society, that's what's on your birth certificate. That's how they see you as black. We got to get out of this slave mentality that black people have, thinking that lighter complected people are more acceptable or more quality person than a dark skinned person. That is just really disgusting to me. I cannot stand that about black people. And my son is in an interracial relationship, and I've already told him and my daughter-in-law, when y'all have a baby, it's not going to be any of this biracial stuff. There's no such thing as that to me. My grandchild will be taught that he or she is black, no matter what their shade are. Black people, we have to get away from it. It's like we hate ourselves. I don't understand that. Why do we have to hate ourselves? Black, brown, whatever color you are, lighter, darker, it's all beautiful. These other races of people are trying to look like us, talk like us, act like us, but yet we don't even love our own selves. And I don't understand that. Okay, that's it on that. The next thing, Democratic Party. As to Democrats, you saying you tired of Democrats talking about these Republican Democrats. You know what? I don't have a problem with that, because how can you, as a black person, be in a Republican Party that is the party of white supremacy? That is what the Republican
Well, it's some
Party
Democrats
is.
that's part of the
It
white
is the
supremacy
party of
either.
white
I don't think
supremacy.
it's just Republicans. Let's just be clear, because if Democrat Party are not part of white supremacy and they all about black people, where's our reparations? Where are counseling student loan debt? Where are investing in black businesses? Where are giving billions of dollars go in advertising that the government spend in advertising, and only 0.5% goes towards black owned business? If they not with white supremacy, why are they not investing in black people? I just think that is just an outdated idea that Republicans are so bad and that Democrats are good. If they were good, then we should be better off. We're not better off under Democrat. We have been voting Democrat for over 50 years, and we're still struggling. Gun violence is still out here. People are still in poverty. I'm not understanding where's all these good Republicans that's helping black folks, because I don't see them.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me answer your question now. Okay, so first of all, the one thing we cannot do is equate the two together, because they are not the same thing. That's the first thing. Okay, you say, why don't the Democratic Party do this? Why don't they do that? Because first of all, this is a democracy. So you have to have enough people in the House, in the Senate to get bills passed. You're right. They do have what they call blue dog Democrats. Those are really Democrats that are in name only, like Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema. Okay, so if you don't have enough people to vote for any bill you pass or any bill you try to implement, then you can't get it done. Okay, so like the Democrats right now, we have two people that's holding us up. So we need two people to replace. That's why you need more than just enough. Because when you have just enough people within the Democratic Party, it's a big tent party. You have people in there that are very liberal, and then you have some Democrats that are conservative.
I agree, but Christian Sinema
well.
and Joe Manchin, both of them are not, as I believe, in Democrat name only. But President Biden should be going to their home states and going to their constituents and to explain to them why they're holding up these bills. But he have not done that. If he was really for black people, President Biden will be getting into Air Force One. He will go to these places and he will let these folks know that these bills are being held up by these two senators. President Biden have not done that. President Biden can definitely urge his colleagues in the Senate to go away with the filibuster, so we can just deal with a simple majority to get this stuff. He have not done that as well. So a lot of things that Joe Biden said he was President Biden going to do. He have not done it, and I think that he let down a lot of black people, and a lot of black people are not going to go out and turn out in the midterm elections. They're going to lose in the midterm because I think a lot of black people that I talk to are not energized at all.
Okay, so first of all, one of the first problems is I'm so sick of people talking about you got to be energized. Listen, I don't have to be energized. I know what it is. If you know anything about politics or whatever, I'm gonna go and vote who's gonna help my bottom line and my interest. And I know one thing: the Republican Party has never done anything. Let me give you one example. Just one example here. Okay, just like we had COVID. If it hadn't have been for Democrats, do you know we wouldn't have got unemployment? We wouldn't have got a stimulus check. Republicans voted no on all of that stuff. I'm not here telling you that the Democratic Party is like saints and they do everything that you want. I'm not telling you that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm telling you is that we have people that are in these positions that are willing to do these things, but we do not have enough. And when you do not have enough people in there, then you need to figure out what you have. Every Democrat should go on a record to say if they're for the filibuster or against it, if they're for raising minimum wage, if they're for reparations, and then you know what they're for, and you put those people in office.
All right, thank you.
That's how you get things done. I'm not saying that they're,
thank you.
Like they are the end of all be all.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you so much for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. 1758. I'm sorry, 1768. I'm sorry, 1768. You live on the air.
Hey, Wiley, how you doing?
All right.
Okay, I'm just make sure I'm on the air. All right. Okay. So I heard your last call. I really don't like to get into politics because all of them are liars. But anyways, nothing gets done on either party, so I really don't believe in none of that crap. So let's go on Kevin Samuels. I personally don't care for him. It's not. I mean, he croaked. He was a 56-year-old man living in a one-bedroom apartment that was in somebody else's name, and he died on top of a BBW. And he sat up there and degraded black women and rated them adjustable sixes and all these ratings and basically said we weren't shit. So, I mean, what are we supposed to say? I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh my God, he died. He croaked on top of a BBW. And he was a lonely man in an apartment. He was lonely. Middle-aged man, single, unmarried, and he died alone. He died alone. He was 56 years old. One-bedroom apartment. Somebody else's name.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Oh, that's it, Wiley.
That's it. Thank you. Because you already got your point across. You repeat the same thing. 9337.
Hello, Wiley.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, wow. This is a lot to unpack. Let me just go and start with Kevin Samuels. Listen, I know that he had a lot of controversy of what he spoke and how he talked. I'm not condoning any of his actions, how he spoke to the women. You know, a lot of women are disgusted about what Samuels has done. But I think all these rumors, especially with Armand Winkins coming out allegedly saying that he's using coke and Viagra pills and Red Bull, I think that's just a little bit too much. The fact of the matter is, yeah, the man may have not liked what he said or how he said them, but still we all have an opinion. Now, let me get some of the Candace Owens. Now, everybody knows that Candace Owens is not invited to the cookout. But if Candace Owens is exposing the Black Lives Matters of appropriation of funds, she has the right to do that. And I will be like you, Wally. I'm waiting for the documentary too as well. And the last thing I want to say is with the parties. Listen, Democrats ain't doing nothing for the party. Republicans ain't doing nothing for the Black people for the party. That's why I'm going to vote in the new midterm. I'm voting as independent. I'm not voting either side because there's so many lies. I feel like they have all these promises. I'm going to promise you this. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. And as soon as they get into office, guess what? It don't ever happen. The Democrats are running the White House, the Senate, in the House, and we can't even get reparations. We can't even get affordable housing or what is that? A higher wage. And y'all talking about y'all can't get the votes. You can't get the votes, and no, that's all bullshit. I mean, sorry, why? That's all lies. It's all lies. Y'all can do it, and I have a feeling in the midterms that the Democrats are probably not going to win. But that's it, Wiley. I want to thank you so much for inviting me to the show, and I'll be watching you more.
Thank you so very much. Okay, Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hello, Wiley.
Hey.
First of all, let me tell you something. White is white, black is black, Spanish is Spanish, Hispanic is Spanish, and biracial is biracial. See, that's the thing. Y'all always try to group other people in with black people when it's already hard to get things done for black people. You cannot just go and change your race like that. At the end of the day, black is black. First of all, I do agree 100% with Candace Owens. We have the right to find out where that $6 million went at Black Lives Matter. They spent millions of dollars on a house saying that it was an office. And I believe allegedly that people are living there while they're family members. They need to be investigated in jail for fraud. Candace Owens, I support you 100%. Joe Biden, I don't support you at all. You will never get another vote from me ever again because I believe you lied to the people. You told us you were going to help us, the black community, and you did nothing. Kamala Harris, that's the thing, Wiley. She is not black. She is a biracial woman, and I think she identified more with the other side than this side right here. They wanted our votes, and they got our votes. But let me tell you something, you will never get another one. During the midterm election, you guys, vote for your conservatives. We are the voices for the people. We believe in the people. We don't do politics. We believe in rights, individual rights. Conservatives, vote for us when it's time to vote in these elections. These Democrats are liars. These Republicans, some of them are liars too, Wiley. And I cannot believe anything that Joe Biden says no more. He did not cancel student loans. I am still paying on student loans. Joe Biden, cancel student loans. You up here, you can sign any bill to send over for Ukraine, $50 billion to send to Ukraine, but you cannot help us here in America. You do not deserve to be a president. Don't make people regret voting Donald Trump out of that White House because now, Wiley, the people seem to regret. I do not agree with everything Donald Trump did, but let me tell you something. I do believe he was the man for independence. He was the man for independence. Joe Biden want to take us back to the 1900s. They're up here arguing about abortion law and lying to the people. Joe Biden, we voted you in the White House. Do something to help us. Do something to help the black people, the poor people, the African-American community. I'm so sick of these politicians lying to us. They try to divide us. We are in a state of division here in America, and all they want to do is give all our resources to Ukraine. I will not stand for it. I am here to say vote for the conservatives. Thank you, Juan.
Thank you so very much for calling in. All right. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to the next caller here. Wow, y'all are calling in. 6010. 6010, you're live on the Wiley Show.
Peace, Wiley. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Hi, everyone. So I'm calling in from Toronto, Canada, and I had a chance to listen in to some of what was going on. First of all, I'd like to say rest in peace to the great, outspoken Kevin Samuels. The brother did his thing. I have no reason to be bitter towards that brother or have any type of negative, feelings or emotions towards him. He did what he did, and he did what he did quite well. This is kind of unrelated, but to the caller that called in and stated that her son, who I presume is Black, and her daughter-in-law is white, and that she's going to be categorizing her future grandbaby as Black. I just want to remind everyone that in order to be Black, you need a Black mother and a Black father. I'm not sure why we have to keep reminding people of this, but moving right along. Lastly, I'd just like to say that any female or male that's mad or bitter or celebrating this brother's death are the very ones that he spoke of, and it's pretty sad. That's all I got to say.
All right.
Great show, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Okay.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. 1621, you're live on air.
What's going on, brother? Peace and blessings. How's everything going?
All right.
All right. Okay. Well, all the emotion that's been coming in is kind of exasperating. I'm going to get my thoughts together. But one thing about dealing with the brother Kevin Samuels, everything he said wasn't all 100% truth, but it wasn't all 100% lie. He brought facts to the situation and presented them. Now, they don't know Kevin Samuels' history of what he did, and he laid it out. He came from the NOI, the Nation of Islam, so he understood what was going on in the black community. The facts he stated were true. 1 out of every 4 black women will not be married. And some of the things he said were very understanding and comprehensible. Why have a child by somebody and then not marry them, but then expect somebody else to pick up the duties of the father, or even block the father of the child out and then expect somebody else to do it? Why can't the father take care of his own DNA? That's incomprehensible, because everybody has emotion behind it and not really sitting down and logically understanding what's going on. Our community has been torn down. It's ravaged. I'm only 50 years old and can see what's going on. The whole plan that's been laid out has been to tore our community down. This has been pre-planned. This is not something that just fell out the sky. This has been pre-planned. The second thing about dealing with the Democratic Party, if anybody, we got to study more. We have to study more. If you go back to 1954, they had more Ku Klux Klan members inside the Democratic Party. Just information is out here, but we don't read. We want to go by what we feel. So the party was never intentionally for us anyway. It's always been independent for the blacks in America. Thirdly, we have to get an understanding and logic in this situation. We have to understand what moves and motivates our community and get a get some foundation and try to find out what we need to do to bring our community together. We in this false gender wars and don't even know why. Everybody else can get along, understand that, this person plays this role, this person plays that role. In my marriage, I cooked, I cleaned, I did what I had to do, take care of the kids. Sometimes she did it. I'm not understanding the concepts on dealing with this. But we have to come out this false gender war because of the fact what they're doing. Everybody's making trillions of dollars off just our community, and we're still broke, still living lives subpar. We have to come out these mindsets. We start to rebuild our community and start putting information out there so our kids can grow up and don't fall into this foods.
All right.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you so very much for calling in. All right. 0235. Oh, hold on 1 second. I hung up on you by accident. I'm sorry. 0032.
Hello?
0032. Call. You are live on the Wiley Show.
Hello. Hi. I hear some feedback. I was calling in to talk about the Democratic Party.
Okay.
People are going to have to pay attention. To know who Joe Biden is. Joe Biden is the author of the 1994 crime bill. That bill put thousands of black men in jail for marijuana. Marijuana small crimes, things that they are still in jail for. The minimum time that they spent in jail has turned into the maximum time. Joe Biden wrote that 1994 crime bill with Strom Thurmond and Eastland. Those were two of the most racist lawmakers in history. And black people still voted for Joe Biden. Joe Biden told people, you're not black if you don't vote for me. Black people still voted for him. He told black people.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. He told black people what? Okay.
Hello? Okay.
Finish your point.
People don't understand. Okay, I'm here. Hi. We need to put.
Okay, I'll let you go because you got phone troubles. 0235, you're live on air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Listen, I just wanted to speak on Kevin Samuels for a little bit. I went too easy on him the last time I called in because I didn't do enough research, to be honest with you. And I thought this whole time he was just like, oh, he was just speaking the hard truth. Oh, but he is messy. The more videos I watch now, he is messy, and that's not even my biggest issue. My biggest issue with him is how he reacts when a woman responds. He goes on the defensive. He doesn't even try to understand where they're coming from. He uses like these belittling tactics and basically make it seem that women are bitter or aggressive for saying something back. Now I understand where y'all coming from about not caring about this man's death. You take what you get back. That's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. The number is 646-716-8447. Anonymous, Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
As far as Kevin Samuels, I was not interested in watching him until after he died, and the only reason why I watched it was because I was like, let me see why, some women hated this guy so much, and so I've been watching a few of his videos, and I'm gonna say that he was quite hilarious to me. I mean, funny, because you got somebody who's asking these women their dress sizes, and to me, no one can degrade us and disrespect us without our consent. And so to me, you had the women that were calling him, they knew exactly what they were calling and going to get. So they chose to call him. So I feel like he was just hilarious. And there's no, as a woman, I don't have any hate or any feeling like that. I just think the man got paid to do exactly what he enjoyed. And that is, bossing up in a suit and looking good and talking trash. And he was getting paid for it by these very women who were calling in and asking for it. Because
that's true.
I
agree. Those women, they knew what they were calling into. They called his show freely for him to give them a 1 or a 10 or whatever. So people need to understand, he did not beg these women to call in. He did not put a weapon up to the head for the women to call. They called in freely, asking that man for relationship advice. And that's a fact.
Exactly. So I can't say that I feel, that I feel any type of way about the man, because I wouldn't call him personally and ask for any relationship advice, and especially knowing I got to get on the camera and knowing that no matter what you say, really, that's what he made his platform, to get on there and some kind of way insult you one way or the goddamn darn other. So it's just hilarious to me. And the reason why it's hilarious, like I said, because they called and they pretty much asked for it. They signed up for it. So I don't feel bad for anybody. It's hilarious. And while I'm bored sitting in the house on a Saturday, single, that's what I watch and get my laughs off, because he was funny.
All right. Thank you so
hilarious.
Thank you so very much for calling in.
All right, you too.
All right, bye. Okay, we're gonna take a couple of more, then we done. Because it's just too many callers today. 3352, you're live on the air.
Hey,
Wally.
Can you hear me, man?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Now, I agree, we should not celebrate his death at all. They did the same thing to Kobe, but this is not funny. I watched this dude. I like this channel. This is not funny. I was devastated when he passed away, because this is not funny, and Joe Biden has done nothing. So that's all I got to say, man.
All right, thank you. Okay. Short and sweet. 4780. 4780.
Yeah, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, brother. Go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Good. I wanted to say I'm in the same age group as Mr. Kevin Samuels, and I'm 55, and I've been watching this man since the pandemic. So I watched mostly 95% of his videos, and what I noticed is that the book, it was a book that came out in the 80s,
Mm.
And he mentioned this book a lot. It was called the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. And this book was by Sister Shirazad Ali. I still have a copy of the book. It was one of the first books that was self-published back in the 80s that reached 1 million copies sold.
Mm.
And she was on the Donahue Show a long time ago before Oprah. This woman was on the Donahue Show. She was very controversial. And he picked up, I recall his show, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman 2.0, because she basically wrote the book back in the 80s, late 80s, 88, 89. And he came along years later, 30 years later or more, 2.0, Instagram, TikTok, and shined the same issue on the world with Black man and Black woman relationships. And unfortunately, he got the same treatment and backlash as she did. And there was another book a brother wrote. These books have been written years ago, back in the 60s, 70s, because I have a whole library here at my home. It was another book called Do Black Women Hate Black Men? It was by a brother named Reynolds. This book was written in the 70s. So you have an historical compass of this subject matter, and it goes back a long time, not just Kevin Samuels. If you go probably do a Google search on these books, The Black Woman Hate Black Men, Shirazad Ali book, Black Man Guide to Understanding the Black Woman, you know how Amazon does this, and other people search this book, you probably see a whole slew of those books that pop up in that search. They go all the way back probably to the 40s, 20s, 30s, and so forth and so on. So this is not a unique critique or narrative. This has been going on for a long time. And also, I noticed that he was genius in a sense that he got the women to talk. And also, there's other guys out there. I think you got this other guy named Coach Greg Adams. He's another guy. And what he does, he shows video of women reflecting what they say they aren't.
Okay.
So, yes. So I just put a little historical preference to it, and hopefully somebody can take something from it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so very much for calling in. All right. We're going to take 2 more callers and we're done. 0081, calling you on air.
Good evening, Wiley. How you doing?
All right.
Well, that's good to hear. Well, I was just calling to speak about Kevin Samuels. Now, I wasn't a big fan of his. I watched it here and there if something went viral. But I just feel like just to see a lot of women comment all these negative and hateful comments saying they're happy he's dead, I feel like that is very cruel. I don't understand how people can make fun of someone based off of how he feels or what he feels like a high value man should have. If you don't feel that way, okay, you don't feel that way. But to celebrate someone's death in a nasty comment, I'm not here for it. But that's all I had to say. And I also want to say Happy Mother's Day to everyone that's in the chat as well.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. Okay.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. 9867.
Hey, Wiley and chat. It's the voice of New York. How you doing tonight, Wiley? I see you have everyone calling in with the stuff. So I'm just going to respond to some of your callers that called in and then also weave in my opinion. So the one that called in, Mr. 50-year-old, when he mentioned that Black women prevented their baby fathers from seeing their children. Yes, some do, but most of the time, you need to talk about the Black sperm donors that's not stepping up and why we have a high rate of single motherhood in our communities. This is the problem. As old as he is, you always see Black men that's trying to blame Black women for the ineptitude of a Black man and his responsibilities. How have himself has mobilized the young men in the community? Black men are the reason why we are in poverty. We are the reason why we have high crime rates. where the reason why the community is in amok, and they don't want the main ones who are abusing Black women at a higher rate, and death is happening at an alarming rate because of Black men. Kevin Samuel is part of the problem, and he did use shock value to gain his followers. He has like a degradation kink. And some women may have a humiliation kink. You know, they've been so defeated by Black men that they feel like that. Some of them don't have father figures, that they think this is how a man should treat you, or things of that nature. I don't know why those women called in, and I'm glad I was never one of them that called in. I really watch your show. So I don't know why people expect that because Black women are very indifferent to his death. He wasn't no monumental Malcolm X. He wasn't no Martin Luther King Jr. He wasn't rallying. Where was he doing the Black Lives Matter, or where is he when it comes to marching the community? He was nowhere to be found. He was online brainwashing people. The Miss Canada lady who called in, the fact that she used Kevin Samuels and called him great is a laughable instinct. Kevin died alone with no one close to him to confirm his passing and his changed relationship with his kids. And he's 2 times divorced, and he was found in an apartment. And you call that high value? I mean, he admonished Black women daily for clicks and views. And most of the time, we are very indifferent of his death. And I would say there's a sense of relief of his rhetoric and his constant blaming and problematic views. But he did take advantage of his flock of followers' own deep despondency, and now they're muddled and entranced medley of their fallen leader. So it's basically like a permanent diminution in their value. So I wondered if Kevin Samuels had a life insurance policy, if he had burial saved up, if he had a will for his loved ones. Since he already didn't have any emergency contact, his mother found out that he passed away online. What kind of life is that? You preaching out to people to get their stuff together, Black men get their stuff together, but you don't have your affairs together. Also, Wiley, a lot of Black men forget. Recently, there was a Black woman who was murdered by a white dude through Bumble, okay? Saying, I think she passed away, and they was calling her a prostitute, and Black men were online degrading the Black woman, saying that's what she get by being a swirler, she deserved that. None of them were kind enough what this white man did to this Black woman. All they talked about is what she did for a living. And let's not act like people can't make an honest living by doing those type of sexual work, okay? But the amount of vitriol that she received after this white man was not even, he remember, because he had friends in the police office where, right? So they didn't even take it seriously. Where are they? They're nowhere to be found. But here they are trying to hail Kevin Samuels as their king. They just a big joke. With that said, we do need to engage young people into politics. This is very important because where we're going right now in politics is very disheartening to see. And Wiley, I'm so happy you always touch on this subject. So we need to take it back in our own hands. Trump has filled the Supreme Court justice with a lot of conservatives because remember, when Obama wanted to bring a judge, he had to wait to put that judge in. But what Trump did is that he filled up the court with 3 conservatives in order to make sure that they couldn't do like a real vote in order to put them through. Okay, so every time Sister Conservative calls in, she never talks about the Roe versus Wade, which is something that's right now under siege for reproductive rights for women. These Black men who's calling in, they talking about Kevin Samuels, but they're not even calling in to talk about Roe versus Wade and the effect it will have on Black women and young children moving forward. See, you see the priority of our community? They worry about someone who didn't do no type of community work, never open up schools, never mentor young Black men. All he did is go online in his apartment and tell you you're not high value or you're a 708. Where there's real issues like Roe versus Wade in which we need to think about. Because if they can overturn this, they're going to overturn same-sex marriages, and they may overturn interracial marriages in the near future. So I feel like we need to get back to where we need to go. And lastly, I also feel, I'm going to end it here.
Okay, because I want to get to this last caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, so no problem. Candace Owens, let her do the research on Black Lives Matter and where they had the inappropriate funds. But I hope she does the same thing for all the other Christian white churches that take money from people and don't even do what they need to do. Okay, because that's what the white institution's been doing for years. So yes, Black Lives Matter did do something wrong, and I'm not lying. I want to know where the money went to. But if you're gonna open their floodgates, open everyone else's floodgates. Thank you so much, Wiley, and have a great day. Bye,
All
everyone.
right. So I'm gonna go to this. We got callers. Y'all are calling in. I'm trying to get to all of y'all. That's I'm cutting it short, trying to get to all of these callers. Man, it's about 50 callers in here. We're not gonna be able to get to 50. I'm sorry. It's too many of y'all today. 1155 calling you on the air.
Wiley. What's up, Wiley?
Hey, how you doing? So what's your thoughts about Kevin Samuels?
Oh, yeah. I'll pass. I'll pass on that situation. As far as the Democratic and the Republican Party, I've never voted, but I pay attention to everything. And my whole thing is, how is everyone against a man that was our vice president for 8 years? If anything would have happened to Obama, Joe Biden would have been our president years ago. He's now an elected official. President of the United States is a job. It's like if you go to work, you have a boss. It's a job. Everything that he said and won't done, it does not mean it's going to happen. This man should be living his best life. Nobody applauds him for getting up every day and doing a job. No matter how much he gets disrespected, he still does a job. But the mere fact that everyone seems to think that this man just like came out of nowhere. He was our vice president for 8 years. And he's been a politician for a long, long time. Donald Trump switched parties. Donald Trump was a Democrat before he was a Republican. Right before he ran for president, he switched parties. He wasn't even a Republican at first. The man has a very bad track record, and I don't have nothing against him. But politically, he's not in position to run our country. Our commander-in-chief, which is our president, is the person that speaks on our behalf with other countries. He's the person that will be in meetings and everything. So I don't think he controls our military. I don't think it's someone that is as loose lips sink ships. I'm gonna say that loose lips sink ships. The way that Donald Trump speaks about our military, put our business out there on public news forums, the way he just has no respect for anyone, but he wants respect from other people. That is just not a person that I would think is a good leader. And two, I mean, when Biden came into office, he spent his first year trying to fix, because Donald Trump said they cheated. They cheated. Right. And now he's trying to sue Hillary Clinton. Why you didn't sue Hillary then?
All right. Thank you so much for calling in.
It's just like.
Thank you.
No, never again.
Thank
never
you.
Again. Never
okay.
Again.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. 5754. This is the last caller. 5754.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey, I just joined. I didn't know. As far as Kevin Samuels, did anyone touch on what he said about young girls?
No, I don't know. I don't know, because I wasn't trying to get everything that he said, because the man just died. So we was just pretty much, people was giving their thoughts about Kevin Samuels. But
okay. Well, I just want to say that I don't ever rejoice in someone's death, but Kevin Samuels is very dangerous. One of his last live videos, he said, and this is you can go find it and watch it. He said that if a woman is dating a man and her daughter comes to her and says that man has touched her, then don't be so quick to believe that child, because children lie. That is disgusting. And that is a dangerous rhetoric to share amongst anybody. I don't care your feelings towards Black women, because, it doesn't bother me. But when you start saying those things about children, something's not right there. So I won't say that I'm happy that he's dead or anything, but I will say Ashe, and may he be blessed in his journey. Thank you, Wiley.
All right. Okay. Somebody else had called. Let me get to. All right. 8018.
Wiley.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. You live.
Wiley. Let me read something to you that I saw in the chat. Kevin Damn You Ho said, all this because Black women don't want to keep their legs closed until marriage. This is the kind of BS that Black women deal with on a regular. From people, I don't know if that's a man or a woman, from people whose thought process is like an amoeba. That makes no sense whatsoever. Kevin Samuels talked about Black women so badly. I mean, he had Black women, young Black women, calling in and asking them, what can I do to attract a certain kind of man? You have young Black women who might have had one child. One, I'll never forget, one young Black woman had one child. He degraded her so badly. When you talk about depression, after that, that's when women were like, wait a minute, this sister had it going on. There was nothing in his eyes that a Black woman could do that would be great. I'm sure Oprah wouldn't be good enough for him. He felt that Black women, that we were some SHIT. But when he passed away, the woman that called 911, did you see what she looked like? And mind you, he said that a lot of us, he's always used to talk about our weight, this and that, which white women have weight problems too. But did you see what the young lady looked like who was in her 30s? The one that called in, did you see what she looked like?
I saw it.
Hello?
Allegedly. I'm going to just say allegedly because we don't know that to be fact.
She would be considered as a BBW. But he said he wouldn't date a BBW. She was like between a 14, and she was like between a 14 and an 18. Something that he said he wouldn't date. But yes, he was, I guess, laying down the wood in the bed with a BBW. Black women, you don't need to go to a man like that. You don't have to you can figure it out on your own. It's called trial and error. Not all women, Black women, open their legs up to every man that they meet. Right now, there is a crisis going on. You have more Black men that are being murdered at an alarming rate by each other, police, and so on and so on. Okay, and in some states, it's like 10-1. Where I live in the DMV, and if you're in the DMV, then you know this. It is so many women to one man, it's ridiculous. So you don't need to go to someone like that to get their opinion. Okay? Look at yourself. Think about it. Okay? Not all men are worth your time. I have more I have to say, but the boy, she hit it right on the nail. Everything she said. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not sitting up here boo-hooing and crying because this man is deceased. I really don't care because he was an effing idiot. I love you, Wiley. Bye.
All right. Thank y'all so very much for tuning into the Wiley Show. Woo, going to work. I got this work to do. I just want to give a special shout out to all the callers. We will go back live tomorrow and finish this conversation up. We definitely will talk about it, but thank y'all so very much. I am sad that Kevin Samuels is not with us. It doesn't make me feel good. I'm feeling really, really down because of his death. It's just really unfortunate. I'm not like any of the other women that feel negative about Kevin Samuels. I personally taken this to heart because this brother definitely had over millions of followers, and he was touching the hearts and minds of millions of Black men, and also touched the hearts and mind of millions of Black women. He had a Facebook group that connected Black women and Black men together to become married. So I'm definitely not feeling my best today because, life is so short. You just don't know when is your time. And he died young. He was in his 50s. That's young, considered to be young. Definitely praying for his mother. Many people are saying they don't care, but that could have been your child. That could be your brother. That could be your uncle. And you're not going to like if somebody degrade them because they did a show that you didn't like. So I'm really, really sad. Really praying for his mother because she got the news on the internet. She got the news. She didn't get the news from a person from the coroner's office. She got the news from the internet. So I'm definitely praying for his mother because at the end of the day, she lost her child. At the end of the day, somebody lost their father, somebody lost their brother, somebody lost their uncle. So I'm definitely sad about that. I was watching most of his content yesterday. I watched some videos today, and I'm like, the brother didn't do anything wrong. He was just criticizing women, telling women what they should like, whether you agree with him or not. Black women made him famous. Black women made him have money in his pocket. Black men, most of the people that was members were Black women. So people say what they want to say. Black women were supporting him, and Black women loved him. It may be a certain group that didn't like him, but most black women loved him because them the ones that was giving him his bread and butter. Them was the majority of them were his subscribers, and that's just in my humble opinion. But thank y'all so very much. We will keep this conversation going on tomorrow. We definitely will be back tomorrow. We will definitely talk about it. But, Kevin Samuels will definitely be missed. And his legacy will continue. We will make sure that we keep his legacy alive, as many other brothers that will keep his legacy alive. Thank y'all so very much. And we definitely praying for him, for his family. I know his mother just got an attorney that was going to represent her. And so we don't know if they're going to keep his legacy alive. We don't know if they're going to have his funeral live stream. We don't know any of those details because, like I said, he just passed on yesterday. We definitely will keep him in our prayers. We will definitely keep his legacy alive. Thank y'all so very much. Y'all let us know how we did in the comments. Peace. I know they're going to drag me. Paul, they're going to drag me in these comments. I know they're going to drag me. When this video's over, they're going to drag me. But we got to keep his legacy alive.